Matches Balone.
What is up, guys? Balone here, bringing you guys another desktop video. Some major news just broke yesterday, and I want to talk to you guys about it. So let's just jump straight into it. Here we're going into Google Chrome. Right here, breaking news: Supergirl coming back for season 2, and this is off of the DC Comics website. I will have a link in the description if you guys want to go check it out for yourself. But right here, Warner Brothers TV has announced that Supergirl will be back next season for a whole new set of high-flying heroics, and hopefully an answer to that shocker of a cliffhanger the first season ended. However, like all good comic books, the story has an intriguing twist. That's a nice picture. Supergirl's second season won't be on CBS, but the CW. That's right, Melissa Benoist's Supergirl will now live alongside the heroes of her fellow DC TV shows, The Flash, Arrow, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow, along with Vertical's adaptation iZombie. So yeah, that's pretty much the big news that came out today. It's actually two huge news. The first one being that Supergirl is going to have a season 2. The fact that CBS hadn't renewed it yet and pretty much renewed all the other shows, it was really murky and up in the air on whether or not Supergirl would continue. And of course, us fans, given the fact there was a cliffhanger on the season finale of Supergirl, it was going to be a huge disappointment if we never got to find out what that was, and Supergirl would just pretty much be done and over with. So that's the first major news. I'm really happy it is going to get renewed. The second major news is the fact that it is going to be on a different network. It's going to be on the same network as Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. And I think that's really cool and really awesome, just because Supergirl from the beginning, me personally, I always thought Supergirl from the beginning should have been on the CW network. It is pretty much being made by the same team as Flash and Arrow. So they should have just continued to grow the kind of Arrowverse instead of having spinning it off and trying to make its own world. So I'm really happy it is kind of folding in. It's going to be, close to one another. I actually believe that they're moving the whole production, because the show was being filmed in LA, and so I believe they're moving the whole production all the way over to Vancouver, where they are filming Flash and Arrow. And I think that's really good, because the fact they're gonna pretty much be neighbors, pretty much be buddy, it's gonna be a lot easier for the filmmakers or the producers, whatever, and the writers to just make a story where Supergirl teams up with the Flash or teams up with Green Arrow or any other character from the other shows. So I think that's a really great positive. You know, if you guys saw the Supergirl and Flash crossover, personally, I was a little disappointed. I think it was very weak, and I think it was a little too Supergirl heavy. And I fully understand that when a character crosses over to another show, the main character of the show is always going to be the main character of the story, regardless. But it really didn't give this feeling of these are two worlds meeting together. It was in Supergirl's world. It was Supergirl's villains. They made the Flash pretty much a sidekick, and I still believe that you could have switched the Flash for Martian Manhunter, and the episode would have moved a lot better than had the Flash come from a different network, or I guess a different show in a different world completely. So hopefully, future crossovers, it will be a more 50-50 split. Kind of do how they do as Green Arrow, where like Green Arrow jumps on Flash. That episode is all about the Flash, and then Flash jumps on Green Arrow, and that episode is all about Green Arrow. So hopefully you throw in Supergirl into the mix, and we get a much more even storyline between all the characters. So that's, again, a great positive in that. One of the negatives is the fact that, again, this is kind of coming off of Twitter. It's not in this news article. But there's a lot of talks about how, since CW is a smaller network compared to CBS, it means it's a smaller budget. And so right there, that is a big problem, just because less money means less they can do. But I'm hoping the fact that CW has been able to have success in a show like The Flash, in a show like Legends of Tomorrow, where it's very special effects heavy. They actually have superheroes who are either running super fast or are turned on to fire or whatever. I'm hoping that they've learned enough from that to really make Supergirl feel and act like Supergirl and not have to spend so much money. I think a lot of people say that it was an expensive show, and I think it was very expensive at first just because they had to set up the setting, set up kind of like this world and all these designs. While if Supergirl had been from on the CW from the get-go, I'm really sure instead of the DO, they would have used like Cadmus or Argus or something like that. Something that Arrow and Flash had already, kind of created. Um, and so this is really up to kind of like speculation and discussion between fans on whether it's good or bad, on what are the ups and downs, what are we gonna lose, what are we gonna gain. Some people are talking about how since it's less money, maybe some of the cast isn't gonna come back. Maybe they're gonna have kind of I don't know, like less of a paycheck. So I'm hoping that the cast, all of it, does join. There's gonna be a little bit of loyalty that even though they might make a little bit less money, but there's goodwill among everybody that they do decide to kind of jump on and help create season 2 of Supergirl. But you know what? Really, overall, I just think this is really great news. If you've been a huge DC TV fan, having all the shows under one network, it is just the best overall. Just because we're gonna have so much interaction, so much interplay with everybody. And I really like this just because. Last year, it pretty much happened with Constantine, right? Constantine had a show on NBC. It didn't work out too well. They canceled it. A lot of fans were bummed about that because they liked Constantine. CW was able to kind of pick up the character, pick up the actor, and kind of fold them into this universe. And so I'm really happy that they're going to do that with Supergirl, but they're doing the whole show, right? Constantine hasn't gotten a show on CW Network, and we don't really know if he is going to get a show on CW Network. But the fact that now there's going to be Green Arrow under the same universe, the Flash, Constantine, Supergirl, the Atom, Firestorm, Black Canary, whoever you want to talk about, the fact that they're all under the same world, it's just cooler, right? It's a lot closer to an actual comic book, where every so often somebody from a different comic kind of just jumps in and helps with the story, and then they go on their way. So I think this is overall really good. The only thing I'm really interested in is how they're going to do this story-wise. In the crossover with the Flash, they did make it a point that he is from another world, and those characters don't exist in her universe. So, I'm hoping, kind of like at the end of season 2 of The Flash, maybe they do something kind of like the Flashpoint Paradox, where something goes wrong and Barry, because he's running through time, he kind of altered the universe a little bit, and magically Supergirl's just in this world. I don't know what they're going to do, but I trust them, and I really hope that it's going to be a good story. But yeah, overall, I'm just excited for this. I think the Supergirl show is pretty good, and just kind of throwing it into the bus of CW is just gonna make it, I guess, better overall, just because they're all in the same world, right? But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts and opinions. Comment down below what's your thoughts and opinions. Tell me what do you guys think? You guys like it? You guys dislike it? You guys think this is good? You guys think this is bad? Whatever you guys are thinking, let me know. And like the video if you guys like it, dislike if you didn't, and subscribe and look forward to more videos. Thanks. Laters.